The reason winners win is because they don't give a shit what you think about their losses. The reason I roll the way I roll is I don't care what your opinion is. I don't care what my mom's opinion is. And when you're in that cocoon, then you could just go fast because, you know, when I love losing more than my biggest competitor loves me losing, well, I'm unbeatable. Like, cause I love losing. I love the climb. I love the grind. I don't want the riches. I fucking love when people shit up. When I came out with my sneaker, I did a K-Swiss collaboration back in
I remember, that was cool.
Channel chatter, and it's right. I'm a 42-year-old white businessman. What the fuck am I doing with the collaboration, right? And there's chatter, because even though I've done well, right? There's a lot of chat. I didn't do well in that world. So all the sneaker executives, or all the kids in the street, or all the people chattering. I loved when everybody.
You like the adversity.
My man, when I was 23, and I would like see some of my high school friends for like football during Thanksgiving, and they all looked at me like, "Oh, you work at your dad's liquor store?" My man, the chemicals in my body, I love it. The adversity, the negative, is the advantage. People fear losing. And when you're losing from the get, when you start off losing, you don't fear losing, you just convince yourself the game is rigged and you start dwelling. If I can get you to stop dwelling, and if I can get you to stop fearing losing, then you're off to the races. I leave money on the table every day. I can Tony Robbins and Oprah this shit to the fucking end of life. I'm just not interested. I'm interested in doing me, documenting what I'm doing, putting out content, and if you happen to pick up on that, you're pumped, and you want to email me and say, you know, I was this and now I'm that, that's a high that nobody can ever understand, but I don't want to do that full time. I don't care what your point of view is. I went to Mount Ida College, 95% minority kids. I went to the mall 7 times in the first 14 days that I went to Mount Ida College. I got pulled over 4 times. You know why? Because the other 3 kids in the car with me were black. I'm like, unless you live that, you can't understand that. And I didn't live it. I lived it, I was close to it, but I'm still not it. But like, don't sit somewhere where you've never interacted with a culture and judge. You don't know what you're talking about. In the same way in reverse. Like when I'm on shows like this, or when I talk to homies, or when I'm talking to the culture, and I'm like, yo, I got friends who have $10 million in the bank, trust fund babies who are more miserable than you. They're like, get the hell out of here. I'm like, you have no empathy. That sounds good.
Right.
What do you think it feels like when you've lost before you started? Because no matter what you accomplish, everybody's gonna be like, your daddy put you on, you suck. And that starts chipping away at you. How do you, guys, there's a lot of youngsters listening. Guys, Michael Jackson couldn't get plays on MTV until CBS really threatened to pull everybody off of MTV. Michael Jackson. Like what world, like I know that like it feels bad and there's all these things. It's better in life than ever now, not because we're better as people, but because the internet is decentralizing the world. All this cryptocurrency, Bitcoin stuff, everybody's in the craze, they're not being thoughtful. It's not about Bitcoin, it's about blockchain and what that technology means, which means you and I can sell you my home, one quick transaction on the blockchain, we both trust it, it's good, and none of the banks and all these people get their hands in our business. Right. Like shit's going down. So go get yours. Like stop telling me you're gonna, or stop telling me like you got held back. If you have a smartphone, and guess what? All of you do. Well, then you have a studio in your pocket. If you're so good, spit your do I have to tell you about all the people that went and did car studio videos and put it on Instagram and are popping? Like, stop bullshitting. Now there's no more excuses. There's no hiding. Here's what's gonna happen over the next 100 years, and I'm glad I'm putting it on film and audio right now, because either maybe I'll be alive because technology's changing, or my great-grandkids are gonna be proud of me. We're about to go through the craziest 100 year of human beings. We're gonna take one big step backwards. We're in the beginning stages. I think we're gonna have a 10, 12 year of tension about all this shit. Right? This is not, by the way, this is not going away tomorrow. You have to understand what's gonna happen. Everybody's gonna get called to the mat. And then what people are gonna realize over the next 20, 30 years is like, wait a minute, everybody's flawed on something. Who's perfect? There's not a person in this room that doesn't do something that all the rest of us would judge as a real bad thing. It's just the way it is. So it's gonna take us 40 years to get there. But once we do, people are gonna be like, okay, wait a minute, we need to reset. Like if everybody's got something, we need to react appropriately to that something. We need to have different conversations. Like the way we treat alcoholism today or depression today, the way we didn't 30 or 40 years ago, right? That scarlet letter, is gonna change. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna live totally different lives. We're gonna be far more acceptant of shortcomings over time because the hypocrisy is gonna be out the bag. Because if I ever think Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama or George Bush or Donald Trump has any impact on me, I'm a fucking loser. I'm very fascinated by the conversation of work ethic, hustle, overworking. I'm fascinated by people's ability to not take on accountability. I never feel like my points of view and my thoughts and my hot takes and my passions and my story are right. I've never believed that in my life. I don't think they're right. I think I enjoy sharing them because I enjoy sharing them. I'm a communicator. There's some selfish needs of communicating, I'm sure, but like I share them, but everybody shares them. This thought that, you know, I think one of the biggest things we need to get more thoughtful about is this question, which is, the answer to the question is by conversating with yourself and trying to develop self-awareness and not look for outside validation. When people email me and say, Gary Vee, I've been hustling 15 hours a day, I'm like, you getting enough rest? You good? Are you pumped? Like with intention, my intention is to be happy. And so I'm not gonna apologize for enjoying my work. Like, I don't need validation from my work. My work is not my family or my thing. You know, I watch these conversations, I'm fascinated by them. I respect other people's points of view. I just want to make sure that they don't think they're right either. A lot of people that push against hard work, hustle, are people who've already hustled and didn't find fulfillment from it, but maybe somebody else did. In the same way that I haven't had to clarify my points of view. There are plenty of interviews in 2010 where my point of view on Crush It was make $86,000 a year and talk about strawberries. I've been talking about happiness the whole time. I have evolved and have been forced because I feel like I've been dragged into being a poster child of something that I don't believe in creating clarity. But I think to answer your question directly, I think you have to answer that for yourself. And what I would say is, don't overjudge yourself in every chapter. It's okay to be losing by 14 points at the end of the first quarter of an NBA game. You can win that game. And so if you're like working 15 hours a day for a year because you're starting your videography business, that's probably okay. It does take work to start something. If you've achieved some level of success 3 years in, and you don't want to take it to a $10 million business from a $3 million business because you've fallen in love and you've started a family and you want to go to you want to play wiffle ball outside with your child, that's amazing. There is no right. There's only right for you. More importantly, there is no line in the sand. I'll be very honest with you. I'm unbelievably excited to evolve. There may be a time where I don't want to be as passionate about my work, and there may be some cause or some game or who the heck knows what I'll get excited about. And so I think to answer your question, it's A, to do it for yourself, B, to know that it's going to ebb and flow. When you're 96 in debt in your basement, you're grinding. When you're not in the same place, you don't have to do the same things. You may still want to. I still want to. I love operating. I was afforded a lot of opportunities besides building VaynerMedia and having a client service business, 1,000 employees, a lot of chaos. I enjoy that. And look, there's a lot of people, I don't post pictures of my family on social media. Lots of people do. I could judge that, I choose not to. I think there's a lot of judgment in the air on this issue right now. And so yeah, I'm trying to do a better job over the last year of clarifying it because I don't want to be dragged down in the momentum of something I don't believe in, which is, why in the world would I believe in, why would any human being want somebody to burn out and not be happy? But guess what? I would be burnt out and unhappy if I worked 9 to 5. I know unbelievable amounts of unhappiness from people that work 40 hours a week. Who gets to decide? Definitely not me, and definitely not people who are pushing very hard in what they perceive to be my point of view on this issue. I think I've been consistent. I could have been better at clarifying it along the way. I think one of the things that is probably evolving my content is as I have more attention, I feel a greater responsibility.